All right, welcome to The Explainer. Today we're talking about something we all know, anger. We're going to dive into the science, what's happening up here in your mind, and even deeper, inside your brain when you start to see red. So, you ever really stop and wonder what's actually going on inside your head when you get angry? You know that feeling when a little frustration suddenly boils over into, like, full-blown rage? Well, let's get into it. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about the stakes here. Because the scientific review we're digging into today, it makes one thing crystal clear right from the get-go. Anger, it's not just some private emotion you feel. No, it has this huge, massive footprint on all of us. And this quote right here, this is literally how the scientific review kicks off. So you can see, the researchers, they're not just, curious about some feeling. They are tackling a huge societal problem, and it just goes to show you, figuring out the roots of anger isn't just about self-help. It's actually critical if we want a safer society for everyone. All right, so if we're going to get to the bottom of this, we've got to start at the cognitive level. Before we even get into the nitty-gritty of brain chemistry, we need to talk about the thought patterns. Think of it like the mental software that's running when you're in that angry state of mind.
And this is such a simple but really powerful distinction. Look, we all deal with frustrating stuff, right? You're stuck in traffic, someone says something rude, it happens. But the real difference, what the science tells us, is all about where we point our mental focus. When you're in an angry mindset, you're basically putting a giant spotlight on that one negative thing. You give it what the researchers call excessive attention until it just completely takes over your thoughts.
And what happens when you have that intense laser-like focus on what's making you mad? You get impulsivity. It's a direct result. When anger hijacks your attention like that, you're way more likely to just act, without thinking about the consequences. And this right here, this is the key link between the feeling of anger and the action of aggression. Okay. So we've talked about the software. Now it's time to look at the hardware. We're going on a journey deep inside the brain to see the actual physical parts that are in a total battle when you feel that flash of rage. Really, the best way to picture what's going on in there is to think of it like a conflict. It's a biological tug of war, literally. It's the part of you that wants to just explode versus the part that's desperately trying to keep everything under control. So on one end of the rope in this tug of war, you've got the amygdala. You can think of this as your brain's ancient, super primitive anger alarm. It is fast, it is powerful, and its whole job is to just scream danger at the first hint of a threat or some big frustration. This is your gas pedal. And pulling on the other end of the rope, that's your prefrontal cortex. This is the more modern, rational, evolved part of your brain. It's the control center, the CEO, the part that steps in and says, whoa, 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 hang on a second, let's think about this. It's the brake pedal, and it's trying to slam on the brakes while the amygdala is mashing the gas. And this breaks down the whole process perfectly. So, step one, you get angry. Your amygdala, the alarm, just goes off. That's anger induction. Then, almost instantly, your prefrontal cortex, the brakes, jumps in to try and manage it. That's anger control. But here's the kicker. In moments of really intense anger, that alarm signal from the amygdala is just so loud, so strong, that it can completely overpower the brakes. And that's the moment when angry thoughts can spill over into aggressive actions. So, this is the really crucial point, right? If we know this whole thing is a battle between the brain's alarm and its brakes, well, what can we do about it? Is it possible to actually train our brains to get better at hitting those brakes? The science says absolutely yes. And this is the big question that the clinical part of the research really dives into. How can we strengthen those brakes? How do we give our prefrontal cortex, a helping hand and basically beef up its ability to handle that screaming alarm from the amygdala? Okay, so the study looked at a few key therapies. You've got cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, which works because it goes right after those angry thought patterns and helps you change them. Then you have mindfulness, which is all about learning to just observe your feelings without immediately reacting to them. Both are effective, but here's the really interesting part. The study suggests that a combination of the two, something called mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, or MBCT, might be even better. It's like a 1-2 punch. It helps you first notice the angry thought, and then it gives you the tools to actively reframe it. You're basically doing reps for your brain's control center.
But, this is how science works. The whole point of really great research isn't just to give us answers. It's to open the door to the next set of questions, the deeper ones that we still need to figure out.
And the researchers themselves flag this as a really important question for the future. I mean, we get some of the mechanics now, but how do these aggressive pathways get wired into our brains to begin with? Is it something we learn? Is it a response to stress? Figuring that out is a massive piece of the puzzle that's still missing. And that leads us to the final and maybe the most powerful thought of all. Because if these behaviors are learned, well, that begs the most hopeful question you can ask. Can they be unlearned? And that, right there, is the next frontier for this research. It's a question that honestly has huge implications for every single one of us.